Hello, welcome to the Tomatalk Podcast.
Hello, welcome.
This person that you just heard is not James Sears. James, my good buddy James, has moved away to get a big boy job, and he's doing lots of big boy things, so he doesn't have enough time to do this with me anymore. And so I have found a new co-host in the form of Mr. Dawson Knox. Introduce yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Dawson Knox, and I'm forced here against my will.
Yes. Also, tell me 3 random things about yourself. Hello, welcome to the Tomatalk Podcast.
Hello, welcome.
This person that you just heard is not James Sears. James, my good buddy James, has moved away to get a big boy job, and he's doing lots of big boy things, so he doesn't have enough time to do this with me anymore. And so I have found a new co-host in the form of Mr. Dawson Knox. Introduce yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Dawson Knox, and I'm forced here against my will.
Yes. Also, tell me 3 random things about yourself that have nothing to do with each other, that doesn't give away too much of your personality.
Oh, man. I giggle. I wheeze, cough very loudly, and,
This has to be completely unrelated.
No, that is unrelated.
I'm saying the last one can't be, like, a sound that you make.
Oh, okay. I, addicted to a taco truck that comes to Boone every Tuesday and Wednesday.
Just inject the taco truck into your
I do. I'm experiencing withdrawals right now. I don't know how good this podcast is going to be.
Well, I can tell you how good it's going to be. Not very.
I think it's
James was always my source of structure for the podcast, and now I'm having to do it, so I'm really excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, I'm also not a very structured person.
Oh, this is bound to be a disaster. I love it.
Laissez-faire the podcast.
Okay, so this episode was suggested by Jason Apple, the love of my life, the apple of my eye.
What a good boy.
I hate making that joke.
Yeah, why'd you do it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I felt obligatory. Like, I felt like somebody was going to get mad at me if I didn't say it. But now I'm mad at myself now that I did.
Yeah, I'm just upset in general.
That's fair. Okay. He has suggested that we talk about the concept, just the word, the entire premise for this episode is snow. And so that's what we're talking about today is snow.
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 There's no way this is going to be good.
That's silly. It's really silly.
All right, let's get started. So the first thing that we figured we'd talk about, because the first thing that we think of when we think of snow is snowstorm. So we're just going to talk about our own personal experiences regarding snowstorms. And
Yes.
Dawson, since I lied before, and you do live in Boone a good chunk of the time.
I do.
You live in a very snowy area. I've also lived there, but why don't you tell me about some of your most interesting Boone snow experiences?
Yeah, so, well, I'm going to have 2 stories for this podcast.
Okay.
This first one's going to be a little bit more lighthearted. And like, it's not really an interesting story. It's just like...
That's great for podcasts.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a very uninteresting person.
That's not true.
So, so last winter, there was the Snowpocalypse in Boone. It was pretty rough. All the classes were canceled, and I was like, I'm just going to go to my friend's apartment, so I'm not going to be alone with, these roommates that I have that I did not like. They were a lot. They were really loud.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And, there was about 2 feet of snow, but it was a lot of fun, because...
Are you saying that, like, a snowman was decapitated?
Yeah. Maybe.
He just lost both his feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
I'm sorry for interrupting
Wait
you.
a second. Snowmen don't have feet. They're just balls.
Say everything you said again.
I don't want to. I don't want to anymore.
I tried to stop myself from saying that.
Dude, why did you?
I don't know.
This isn't fun anymore. I don't want to talk about this Boone story anymore. You're never going to hear it, audience. Bye-bye. Here's your story.
Okay, there's 2 feet of snow.
No, I'm done. What's your story? This isn't fun anymore.
Just say it.
Whatever. No, I just ate a bunch of mac and cheese, and I played ukulele, and I play video games with my friends in 2 feet of snow. I'm gonna send Tomahawk a picture to post in the video. It's a picture of me in snow, and I look majestic, and I'm done. I don't want to talk about this story anymore because you kept interrupting me. You made that poopy joke about the snowman and his feet, even though snowmen obviously don't have feet. I'm done. Your story. It's your turn.
Fine. All right. So, when I was in high school, the worst snowstorm I think that we've had in Greensboro for a long time. We were out of school for at least a week, maybe even like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Had a real bad case of cabin fever. And up to this point in time, I had refused. This is 2010. Up to this point in time, I had refused to get on social media. I was like, I'm too cool for that. Whatever. Just, like, I hate everybody.
Yeah.
So why would I ever want to be Facebook friends with anyone? So I got so bored that I was like, I'm going to make a Facebook. Here we go. This is the exciting tale of how snow led me to Facebook.
Like, what year was this?
2010.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Facebook was still pretty relevant.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Okay.
I think it may have started to decline, but that's, me. When things start to decline, that's when I get on it.
That's when they're primed for the picking, right for the picking. That's the word.
When that banana just starts to brown.
I'm allergic to bananas, dude. That's not
cool.
I'm
sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to offend.
It's fine, I guess. So,
I didn't realize that brown was an offensive color to you.
Yeah, brown. I think this is off topic. I think brown is like the funniest word for a color.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just like brown. You know what I'm saying?
What about like chartreuse?
That's not that funny. It's just kind of pretentious.
Okay.
Like, you're like, I'm wearing chartreuse.
What about salmon?
Salmon. That's pretty good. That's a fish, so.
Yeah. Did the fish come first or did the color?
Oh, the fish, obviously.
Did it?
Yeah, because, like, the salmon is the color of the salmon.
Exactly.
No.
So they're like, this fish is that color that we call.
I think you're full of lies. Anyway, you were on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. And I didn't understand social etiquette or anything. And I just find friends of mine, people I know from high school, and I friend them. And then I sent everybody chats. Just like I opened up so many different chat things. And I'm pretty sure every girl that I messaged thought I was hitting on them.
Nice.
Most of them didn't respond to me. And this one girl did. She used to ride my school bus back in 6th grade.
Aw.
Hold on. No. 8th grade.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
saucy.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
that
damn.
8th grade sauce.
Delicious.
Zesty. A little too peppery, but it's zesty. So I hadn't talked to her in a long time, and she starts talking to me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. And she had apparently a crush on me. That is some great material for a podcast. Dawson's doing this wonderful eyebrow aerobics thing. His eyebrows are going up and down so fast. It looks like they're more or less vibrating on his face.
No, it's okay. Like, they'll see it in the subtitles, so it's okay.
I want a podcast with subtitles. We should do that.
Can we get, like... so deaf people can join the fun.
So, I more or less... I wasn't really interested in her. I don't know if I should say this. I hope she never listens to this. She's married now. Should be fine.
Yeah.
She's not married to me. Also, I wasn't interested in her really, and I was interested in this other girl, and this other girl rejected me. I was like, okay, fine. And so I asked her out via Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I asked her out via Facebook message, and she said yes. Also, just keep in mind, I moved away, so she wasn't on my school bus anymore. I hadn't seen her throughout this entire ordeal where we've been messaging each other on Facebook. I never saw her in person.
That's scary.
When I asked her out to, like, be my girlfriend, I just asked her, like, would you be my girlfriend? And she stopped messaging me also. And that was such a stressful night for me.
Yeah. Because
it's like 10 p.m. when I ask, and she doesn't answer until 9 a.m. the next morning.
She had a lot to think over.
I guess. And I don't blame her. She could have just said
know
no.
What she was getting into.
I'm just like, I had a real hard time sleeping.
I bet. What was the message in the morning? Like, lol, sorry, I passed out.
She was just like, I think it said sure. And I was like, cool.
That's an enthusiastic yes if I've ever heard one.
I mean, what level of enthusiasm do you really anticipate anybody to have about agreeing to date me?
Sure. I guess. I'll do it for the tax benefits.
Fine. Yeah, I can write this off of my taxes, right? This is a charitable donation.
It is.
So she's my girlfriend. I still haven't seen her. I keep asking her if she wants to, like, go off and do something. Spend time together. Yeah. Like you might do if you're dating somebody. And she's too busy to do it. So after a week, she sends me a text just like, I don't have time to date anyone right now. I'm sorry. I went through my entire first relationship without ever seeing the person. And I was so sad.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. That reminds me. I remember I was in 8th grade, and like this random girl was like texting me from Tennessee off Facebook Messenger, and this story reminded me of it. And like we were just like talking about shenanigans and whatnot. I don't know. I don't remember, but what I do remember is she was just like so do you want to date me? And like I was terrified. I was like, what? And then I just stopped messaging her because I was very scared. I was like, I remember what I was doing. I was like raking leaves in front of my house, and like I get a buzz, and she's like, do you want to go out or something? And I'm like, oh god. That was just going through my head when you were telling your story.
So did you finish raking leaves, or did you just like drop the rake and run inside?
I ran into the bathroom and hid.
Because you just knew that she was going to show up at your front lawn.
Yeah, from East Tennessee. She was going to drive like 4 hours.
You didn't respond to my message.
You didn't respond.
I'm sorry, Dawson. I can't let you do that.
Sorry, I was making doo-doo feces.
Why would you say that?
Sorry, I'm just thinking about Michael Jackson now, too. For any of you confused listeners out there, there's this interview with Michael Jackson, and he goes like, yeah, so I asked to go to the bathroom, and I went to the stall, and I looked behind me, and there was doo-doo feces all over the walls. And I think that's the funniest thing ever, and the most like underrated clip ever, and I think it should be quoted more. That's all I have to say.
Well, here's where things turn into memes.
Yeah,
this podcast. This is the building ground.
It's called the meme machine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the meme machine, where we take good ideas from memes and we really make them some brown bananas.
Brown bananas.
All right. So next thing that we thought of we would talk about regarding snow, because that's what we're talking about.
What?
We're talking about snow.
So I hate snow. Okay.
All right, so we had an idea that we would each come up with a famous movie snow monster, and then we would just debate about which snow monster would win in a one-on-one fight where they both appear on opposite ends of a standard football field. They immediately perceive each other as a threat, and they just run at each other and fight.
Okay.
And like who's gonna outlast the other. All right. We have not discussed who is choosing which character, have we?
I think I told you mine, but you haven't told me yours yet.
Yeah, I do remember now. So you go ahead and tell them yours, and I'll tell mine.
So my movie monster is the abominable snowman from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie that scared me when I was a kid.
It scared you?
Yes! It was stop motion. It moved weird. Like, things that move weird scare me. Like, have you seen, like, a possum?
So is everything terrifying to you in the Rudolph universe since it's all stop motion?
It's mainly just the abominable snowman because, like, he's humanoid-esque, but he doesn't walk like the silver and gold guy. He just kind of like looms, and he comes up on the mountain. He's like, ah, and that scares me. Also, I was a dumb kid.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, my snow monster is equally scary.
Is it the one from Frozen?
It is Olaf from Frozen.
Oh. Dang. That's not much of a monster.
Is it?
Oh.
He's an undying snow creature.
And he sings that song about summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty terrifying.
Which leads me to my first point on why Olaf would beat the abominable snowman in a fight.
Okay.
Olaf is immortal.
Okay.
He can survive in any type of climate because of the little snow cloud that Elsa gave him.
It's true.
He can suffer any level of damage and come back together. He has been impaled and nothing happened. I will admit he does not have a great level of strength, but I think as long as he can outlast your guy,
okay,
I think he'll take it.
I think I can beat you. Okay. So my abominable snowman, even though he lost his teeth, he's still a force to be reckoned with. So he's really strong, obviously. What he can do is, even though you got that snow cloud over your head, he can go over to a hot tub and just like dunk him in there. And he'd totally melt and just become carrots and sticks.
But if he melts, is he still... I think he might retain his personality.
As just a puddle?
As a puddle. Olaf the puddle.
Oh, It's me.
Do you think Olaf could like actually freeze himself into like an ice monster?
No, I don't think there's enough snow mass to turn into an ice monster.
I feel like Elsa with her magic powers could also, they seem unlimited.
I don't think that's fair though. I think it has to be like a.
I'm trying to define the limit of her magic on him.
Oh, okay.
She makes that giant ice monster who is clearly very durable.
Yeah. He grows ice spikes.
Is there any reason to believe then that Olaf can't produce more of himself?
That's true. But I feel like also Olaf is a natural born pacifist. I think even if he does get his buttons pressed, like he's not gonna really engage in any kind of conflict.
Yeah. You see, I don't think that he has to engage necessarily as long as he can just survive.
Okay.
Because with the regenerative nature of the other ice monster in Frozen, it would seem to me that he could also regenerate.
I'm still thinking.
If he has a healing factor, I think he's going to take it.
Yeah, but I still think that my homie, the Abominable Snowman, can just dunk him in a hot tub. And Olaf would be just a puddle.
I think there's only one way to settle this. If there is anybody out there listening, please send us a message. Let us know what you think.
Let's get a poll going on Twitter. Abominable Snowman Olaf.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On the topic of movies,
Okay.
what are the best movie snow scenes that have snow in them, or maybe just the best movies with snow? This was a really broad topic, and we were like, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Okay. Who's starting out with this one?
Definitely you. I'll come up with something while you're talking.
I have several things I want to talk about. First one, the scene in Scott Pilgrim when
that's a good one.
when the third Evil X, played by Chris Evans, is going down the rail on his skateboard, and they're just like, wow.
A lot of that movie's in the snow.
I know,
Yeah.
but I think that's my favorite snow scene in the movie.
I really like Scott Pilgrim. That's one of my favorite movies.
It's 100% my favorite movie.
I love the contrast between like earlier in the movie where he's like sitting on the swings with Ramona versus later when he's sitting on the swings by himself. Like the
And
snow,
one with his sister.
like it just really paints his isolation really well. It's just a very pretty shot.
I love everything about that movie. One of my friends, she hates that movie because she doesn't like the character of Scott Pilgrim.
Well, that's fair. He's the worst.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's the point. The point is he is a sociopath.
They get to the point later on in the movie where you meet Scott Pilgrim's, spoilers, I guess.
Nigga Scott.
Yeah, Nega Scott.
Yeah.
Nega Scott's a good guy, so that means that Scott is evil, right?
Yeah, we're getting brunch later. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. I feel like that was supposed to be like a throwaway joke, but it actually just ended up being like, no, maybe Scott's not great.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, so now it's my turn. I gotta. Okay, so one of the best movies that has snow in it is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen 3. Santa Claus 3.
Oh my gosh, there's so many weird things about that movie.
I love it.
Like when Jack Frost gets like turned on when the mom is singing the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost snipping at your nose. Ooh, sing that part again, but about Jack Frost. Jack Frost snipping at your nose. Ooh, that's so weird. What were they thinking?
Jack Frost nosing at your nip.
Ooh. Ooh, that's disgusting. I don't like that.
I just love when he goes, I invented chill.
I invented chill.
Your turn.
Wait, we're talking about Tim Allen movies, and we're not
Okay.
even going to make the Tim Allen noise?
Go ahead. I can't do it. Bro.
I love those Tim Allen noises because it's like a shovel. It's just like... You know what I'm saying?
That sounds nothing like a shovel.
It's...
What do you mean?
Like, he's just shoveling as much, like, gravel in his voice as
I see now. I see where my problem was. I wasn't going from deep enough within.
You're not that's it. And then, like, when he goes like, he just kind of like spills some dirt that he's shoveling up.
Okay.
I'm crying.
Alright, so what's your second movie?
Like the Home Alone movies.
Oh, those are good.
Like when
Well, the first one's good.
the first and second one. You don't like the second one?
It's fine.
Like
I don't know if I call it good. It's fine.
I mean, I like the first one better. The second one just has way too much slapstick, I think.
Yeah, feels less creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, in the first movie, Kevin makes these elaborate traps that torture these guys. In the second, there's a scene where he literally just throws bricks at them.
Yeah. I know, but that's a really funny scene, because Marv is just like...
That's him in almost every scene.
I know, but he does it, like, for a long time.
He has enough time to see the brick coming and scream about it, but he doesn't have enough time to move.
And then, like, Joe Pesci's just like, shut up, boy! I love this movie. I like the scene in the first one where he's like, you hear that? I'm not afraid anymore. You hear that? I'm not afraid anymore. And then, like, the old man comes up and he's just like, I think there's so many funny things in that movie. Or, like, the scene, like, where the random cousin just comes out of nowhere. She's just like, as the French say, laissez compagnon.
What?
What? Yeah, that was the scene.
What did you say?
Laissez compagnon. That's what she says.
Okay. Right. I've thought of another movie with snow in it. Okay. And it is Iron Man 3. Actually, wait, there's snow in the first Iron Man 2. Oh, the first Iron Man.
Okay.
The first Iron Man 2. There's not multiple Iron Man 2s.
I don't remember the snow in the first Iron Man.
It's subtle. It's when he is back in Afghanistan. He's like finally in the suit and he's like taking out terrorists.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It is just snow coming down.
You sure it's not sand?
No, it's snow. We can look it up, but I know it's snow.
Or is it ash?
It's definitely snow.
Okay. Whatever. I mean,
you just don't believe that it snows in Afghanistan?
No, because it was really sunny out.
It looked like a pale gray sky from memory.
I don't remember that movie.
We should just cover all the Marvel movies.
No, I'd rather not.
There's also snow in Iron Man 3. We can talk about that. Do you remember?
I do remember the snow in Iron Man 3.
A much less good movie.
It's okay.
I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say about it.
I have one more movie.
Okay.
This one doesn't have any snow in it.
That seems like that's the only qualifier.
But
it just has to have snow.
It's kind of a hidden gem that everyone should watch. It's called Cool as Ice, starring Vanilla Ice. I showed Tomahawk the trailer before we recorded because it's the funniest thing ever. Because it's just like this really poopy disco beats and like Vanilla Ice saying like these wisdoms. He's like, if you ain't true to yourself, then you ain't true to no one.
My favorite thing about the trailer is the way that it's shot and edited. Mm-hmm. It seems like Vanilla Ice is going to be the villain in this movie because it's like everyone's having a nice, peaceful time in this small town.
And that's exactly
until
what the voiceover
Vanilla Ice comes in.
And then it's like him like poorly rapping.
Yeah. And like he's like just insulting this guy.
Yeah.
He's like,
that's right.
See you later, Dick. My name's Nick. Okay.
Yeah. Nick. And did you see his haircut? It's like a brick wall.
The worst haircut I've ever seen.
There's a scene in the movie. It wasn't in the trailer. He was like, the girl's name is Kat. And Vanilla Ice is like, yo, I'm going.
So hold on.
Okay.
Before you continue.
Okay.
The girl's name's Kat.
Yes.
Are you telling me that together, Vanilla Ice and this make Cool Cat?
Yes. This is for another episode for another day.
Okay, go ahead.
But where is Cool Cat? There he is.
Just go ahead, Dawson.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're messing with my head. But so Vanilla Ice is like, yo, I'm gonna hang out with Cat. And his friends are like, who's Cat? And he's like, oh, you know, the girl that drives the horse. That's my favorite line in the movie. And it sounds exactly like that.
Whew. All right.
I think I'm gonna have abs after this podcast. I'm a giggle puss.
Any other movies you want to talk about?
I think that's all the snow movies I can think of. Do you have one more? Because I did 3.
Okay. Batman Returns.
With Danny DeVito penguin?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
That's a Christmas movie, right? Am I losing my mind? Hold on.
I don't think it is. I think it's just Danny DeVito running for mayor. And he's got weird penguin hands. And he got thrown into a river or something.
I'm just searching Batman Christmas movie on this tablet. Yeah. Okay, so Batman Returns. It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, cool. There's the Arkham series games. There's like one. It's Christmas themed, and I think you'd like that game. It's very Batman. Even though the detective puzzles are easy and the combat's repetitive, it's still a fun game. You feel like Batman sometimes.
I love feeling like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Just really depressed and angry.
Mm-hmm. And no parents. Haha.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Okay, so now we, here at the end, just have some, like, miscellaneous stuff that we are just going to touch on because, you know, snow is a really broad topic, so we're just going to be like, here we are. We talked about it. We talked about it because we talked about snow. Mm-hmm. All right, so one of the things that came up was, what's better, snow cones versus ice cream?
Obviously, ice cream.
Yeah,
is
agreed. If you say snow cones, you're an idiot.
It's like saying you like sweet potato fries.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
Even if you do like sweet potato fries, you gotta acknowledge that regular fries are better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had sweet potato fries.
They're not good.
I'm not interested to try them.
Because, like, I've tried them in the best circumstances. Most cuts that you can get, like, waffle or crinkle or, like, steak fry and, you know, dipped it in brown sugar butter. Is just not good.
That's really disappointing.
I know, like, because
it feels like it could be a dessert-ish item.
Wait, maybe we're thinking about it all wrong. Maybe we need to make, like, a bloomin' onion-esque style thing.
Right, yeah.
But just bathe it in, like, sweetened condensed milk and marshmallows.
There we go.
And then drizzle some brown sugar cinnamon butter on top.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That sounds pretty good, actually. I think we should be a cooking podcast.
Here we go. We're going to change the very format of this podcast with every passing episode.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. TV static, a.k.a. snow.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I really can't think of any on the top of my head other than the Fat Albert movie when they come out of the TV.
It's in Poltergeist.
Okay.
It's in Man of Steel. Most of my movies that I know are going to be superhero-related ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is it The Grudge? The Ring?
Yeah, The Grudge.
The Grudge.
Ring.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I think both, actually.
Probably have some of that in it.
I think the It movie has some. Or no, is it? I'm talking about
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm talking about the remake.
Sorry, I've just thought again about you talking about Fat Albert.
What's wrong with Fat Albert?
It's just a fun movie.
Have you ever seen the TV show?
I've seen an episode or two.
Have you seen the episode where there was a kid with autism?
I'm familiar with it. I've seen clips. I don't think I've seen the whole thing.
It's kind of hilarious. Because, like, it's really un-PC.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they're calling the kid retarded, which is awful. And he's just quiet. Like, he doesn't do anything out of the ordinary except not talk. But, like, the teacher's like, Albert, can you come over here? And she's like, the new kid, he's retarded. And Fat Albert's like, what? Retarded? It's kind of the worst. And then, like Muckmouth starts making fun of him.
Oh, no.
And then Fat Albert's like, hey, that's not okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, Fat Albert.
Anything that was, like, supposed to be sensitive back then, though, it's about as good as you're gonna get.
I know. I mean, like, they tried something, but it was just... I don't know what they were thinking. Didn't they have that on Sesame Street, too?
I don't remember ever watching Sesame Street. I'm sure I did, but I have no memory of it.
I don't remember watching it that much, but yeah. I hope someone suggests a Fat Albert episode.
We should absolutely cover Fat Albert because that would allow us to talk about Bill Cosby.
Oh, that'd be... Oh, Bill.
The term special snowflake. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't have much to say about special snowflakes. Do you think special snowflakes would get upset about we're talking about Fat Albert?
I think they're not special enough if they get upset.
I agree. They don't think it's hilarious when Fat Albert in the live action movie jumps out of the TV and then beats, like, a track star in a race.
That track race is the only thing I can really remember from that movie. I remember him getting stuck in the TV,
mm-hmm.
and I remember the race with the worst green screen I've ever seen.
Those are, like, the two most memorable scenes in that movie, other than when they go to Bill Cosby's door and he's just like,
Oh yeah, Bill Cosby was in the movie. I forgot.
He is, and he's also in the show Little Bill.
Oh, I remember Little Bill.
I remember Little Bill. The only episode I remember, though, is when he finds the dollar on the ground. He's like, hey, is this anyone's dollar? Hey, is this anyone's dollar? Okay, it's mine now. That's all I remember from Little Bill.
If every episode was just that looped, I'd be fine with that.
Just for 20 minutes.
Yep, in the final episode, you see his hoard. His pile of single dollars. And the camera pans over from where he keeps finding the dollar. And it pans over just so far that you have never seen that side of the room before. It's just a dead body. Little Bill has murdered this person and has been slowly taking their money ever since.
Dude, Little Bill is malicious.
Anything compared to Big Bill?
Oh gosh, Big Bill.
I think that's it for me. You have anything?
I don't. I think we're just gonna be stuck on a loop on Bill Cosby cartoons.
Well, we need to escape that. So thank you for listening to the Tomatalk Podcast with Dawson Knox.
That's me, Dawson Knox.
Dawson, do you have anything that you would like to plug?
This podcast. Also, I have an EP on Spotify, Headspace by Merlot. It's really epic, and I think you should check it out. It's avant-garde jazz, and it's about my headspace and my anger and anxieties. It's really lighthearted.
Yeah, it's just like this podcast.
Just like this podcast.
Also, that band name is spelled how?
Oh, Merlow.
Yeah, there you go. I knew you could do it.
Are you patronizing me?
Yes.
Okay.
We should get a Patreon.
Oh, we need a Patreon. Dude, what? Wait, before we end the podcast.
Oh, no.
What are some of our Patreon goals? $1 lands you.
$1 lands you access to all the new stuff that we post.
$5 lands you a date with Dawson, but I'm not paying for your food.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. So what's the next goal after that?
Okay, $10.
$10.
You get the podcast.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I feel like that has to be reserved to people that we have to give them money to come on, I feel.
No.
They have to degrade themselves. That only sounds fair to me.
They give us money to go on our podcast.
Okay. We got a good business model here, I'm just realizing.
I know. This is the best scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, business model.
Yes. The top tier is going to be called The Dog with the Blog. And we are going to make you your own website. It's just your face. And we write your blog every week.
Wait, can it just be a GIF at the banner of me saying, so how can a dog have a blog?
I'm down for that.
I just want that GIF.
Okay, Dawson, where can people find you on social media?
They can find me on, nowhere. Don't follow my social medias.
That's good for programming. You can look at all my stuff in the description. I'm at a couple different things. Check out my YouTube channel for stuff. I do things. If you have something that you would like to suggest as a topic for us, really challenge us with something that you think we won't cover. Like, that's the really fun stuff.
Because we will find parallels everywhere. I mean, we found parallels with Fat Albert and Snow.
We just want to talk about stuff. Come hang out with us.
we just want to giggle about really obscure things.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Toodaloo.
Toodles.